Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another FIA track guide video at Catalunya in Group 3 cars. This is for the FIA Nations round that is coming up tomorrow. I'm deciding to do this race in the WRX Impreza. There are other options available, but I've decided to do a lap in the Subaru. I haven't had too long to really push this lap, but I have managed to do a pretty solid lap. So yeah, if these videos do help you out, if you do like watching these videos, you get some benefit from them, please comment in the comment sections, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button, then you won't miss any of these videos in the future. So yeah, we're going to go through the strategy briefly at the end of what the possible strategies are in this race, and we're going to probably go into more depth in that tonight in a live stream, so make sure you check out that live stream as well. Or you know, if you're watching this at a later date, go back and watch it, maybe the live stream, because it should be on the channel as well, where we're going to try and test out two different strategies that we'll talk about at the end of this track guide video. So yeah, the Impreza, very good car for this track. I think it's not got an amazing top speed, which might leave you a little bit vulnerable down the main straight. However, the gearing is very good for the corners. It seems to be very well geared. It's got a very positive front end. It seems very good on traction, even with worn tyres when I tested it. So looking forward to trying to find a bit more pace in this tonight and getting a bit more used to it. I've managed to do a fairly solid lap. This lap is a 1 minute 41.7, I think it is. I think I could get this down to a 41.5, which is actually pretty competitive. We're about 4 tenths off the ultimate pace of what I think people in the Lexus have been doing, so it's not too bad. We're looking okay. So let's start this track guide. We're going to go through all the details of what I think will help you get a better lap time and point out some of the stuff obviously for race conditions as well. So starting your lap, trying to get a nice smooth exit through the chicanes, working your way down the main straight. Now with this car, I have found out with Subaru that you shift just before the end of the shift range, except for 5th gear, which you rev out a little bit more. Thank you to Mikhail Hazal for that little tip there. It does definitely work as well. So going into the first braking zone, you're looking out for that 100 board there on the left hand side, braking just short of that. You can see the braking inputs going in now, and we're going to go down through the gears nice and slowly through to 3rd gear as we enter the apex here. So you want to try and get the right hand tyre to clip the curb for that little bit of rotation as you clip the curb. So you're going to see there, just clipping the curb on the right hand side. You don't want to be taking too much curb, just a nice clip just to help the car rotate through the corner a bit, back on the throttle, and now you're going to cut over this little bit of curb as well, trying to get your left hand tyre just to the left of that sausage curb, ensuring your right hand tyre stay on the right hand side of the white line though, just so you don't pick up a penalty. Now up early, shift into 4th gear. We're going to downshift briefly back down to 3rd gear to try and get a bit of rotation on the car. You see we lifted off the throttle, downshift to 3rd, then back onto the throttle, and we're just trying to get the car to rotate through this corner. Early upshift to 4th gear. We got the car really nice rotated there. I could have actually gotten the throttle a fraction early. I think I maybe lost out on half a tenth there by not getting on the throttle early enough, because I got so much rotation through the corner. Now accelerating up the hill, we're looking to brake just short of the bridge above our head there, braking nice and early. It is a good idea to brake early rather than late for this corner. Downshift into 3rd gear, and again I like to keep it tight through this corner. I don't like it to run too far out wide. I think you lose a bit of time if you do that. Down to 3rd gear. Now I briefly downshifted to 2nd gear, then early upshifted to 3rd gear when we got back on the pal there, and keeping the car to the right hand side. You see we don't want to be running far out to the left there, you're just going to lose time. And now we're going into the next tricky braking zone, which I brake nice and early. What I do is, just as the revs build up to the maximum in 4th gear there, we're going to pretty much hit the brake pedal nice and early, downshifting it to 2nd gear. And again, you want to be early on the brakes for this corner purely because you don't want to run wide. If you run wide on this corner, you lose about 2 tenths. Very important to clip that curb on the left hand side as you slowly build that throttle back in. Early shift up again in 3rd gear with the Subaru. It really does like a little early upshift when you're coming out of corners. It seems to help with the traction. Now going into the next braking zone, which I use the start of the curb. You can see where that straight red line is there. I use that as kind of a braking reference, braking just short of that, down into 3rd gear and trying to just clip this curb on the left hand side again to help with the rotation through the corner. Just use a bit of that curb, and then you see very early on the throttle, we're going to really try and carry the speed up this part of the corner, ensuring that your left hand tyres do not go over that white line on the outside of the curb, on the inside of the curb, sorry, because if you do that, you can pick up a penalty. Again, up to 4th gear, and now we're going to be looking at this very fast right hand corner. Again, quite tricky. You're just going to pretty much lift just before the end of the curb. You see that red line there. You want to be lifting and a dab of the brake off just before that end, trying to get your right hand tyre to skim this the curb on the apex of the corner to try and slingshot your way through the corner almost. You're getting really trying to get the acceleration out of there, using the full width of the track as well there on the exit, as long as you get the car back over quickly. Otherwise you can pick up a penalty there also. Now we're going to be looking at our next braking zone, which is the blue and yellow flag board that you see there circled on the top right. On the brakes nice and early, downshift through the gears, try and keep the car in a straight line while you're doing most of your braking, and then rotating the car while trail braking, again trying to clip the apex of the curb with your left hand tyre as you rotate and get back on the throttle. You see 40% power input, then up to 50, and then with maximum throttle as the car straightens up. And now we're going to go straight over the left hand side of the green curb on the left hand side there. Just get a straight line as possible through there, giving yourself a nice line into this corner, braking nice and early. I do like, again, to brake as early as possible. You want to be earlier on the brake rather than late again here, because you want to keep the car to the right hand side as close to that curb as possible. A little early upshift into third gear here will help as well. You see, up to third gear, use some of the curb on the left if you need be. I could have probably gotten the power a little bit earlier there, didn't use the full width of the track. And now braking nice and early, just as you see the tyre marks, you can see that black line and drew it across the track there. That's nice early braking zone. Downshifting to second gear, use some of the curb on the right to help rotate the car through there. Early upshift to third gear, and then we're going to go very early on the brakes before that boarding above our head there, and we're going to go down to second gear, but trying to slingshot your car again from the right to the left hand side, straight lining as much of this chicane as possible. You're going to really attack this. If you get it right like this, you can gain a lot of time straight over that sausage curb in the middle of the car, and again for the second part of the chicane doing the exact same thing. Subaru very good through them corners, and then using some of the full width of the track there. Just be careful, you can lose the rear of the car, but just about got away with that with the Subaru, and powering out that corner over the start finishing line. And we go over the line for a 1:41.7, which, like I say, there is a room for improvement. I think we can get that down to a 41.5 if we really did attack this time trial, but I didn't have time to really go at it 100%. I just wanted to get you a pretty solid lap in with the Subaru that will help you out for picking up some pace in qualifying and for the race, for some tips. So let's have a little look at the lap from the chase camera again, where we really show you about utilising the full width of the track and just trying to, you know, jump over some of them sausage curbs. So again, you see just skimming that apex of the curb to help rotation over that curb there. You see how we really take advantage of the track limits there, but you just got to be careful you don't go too far over, as you will pick up a penalty. And again, I think I got too much rotation into that corner actually. Had to be a bit more, I could have been a bit earlier on the throttle to get a bit more exit speed, but yeah, it worked out too reasonably okay. Again, for that corner, keep it nice and tight, don't want to run too far to the left. And then early on the brakes here, I like to brake early for this corner. It's definitely better to get it a little bit earlier so that you can carry more speed out on the exit. Again, it's so important to get the exit speed right for that corner. It's not a massively long straight, but you can easily lose a tenth of a second there. Then into this section where, again, it's all about momentum and carrying the speed all the way through the chicane, up the hill, into this fast right-hand corner where you're just lifting a dab of the brakes, getting that rotation onto the front tyres to help with the weight transfer, to carry that speed through the corner, and then into that heavy braking zone, which we use the blue flag, yellow flag board on the right-hand side as our reference, downshifting, and just trying to skim that apex again. A straight line in the car before putting that maximum throttle in as well. Subaru very good with traction, so quite good through that corner. Hopefully in the race it will maintain that traction as well, and then just using the full width of the track as much as possible, slingshotting it through these corners, up on the curb nice and high, rotating it through there. And again, you can see how we use all that corner there, really attacking the chicane with the Subaru, and again just about got away with the exit there without losing the rear. We pretty much did that spot on through the chicane, I think, there, and over the line for a 1:41.7. So yeah, for the race there is numerous strategies. Like I say, there is a 1 or a 2 stop strategy I think possible in this. I do believe a 1 stop is actually technically possible because it's around an 8-second pit lane loss. So with that 8-second pit lane loss, I think there will be a way, if you can start on the medium tyres and maybe make sure that if you're starting at the front on the mediums and then you're ahead of them when they've pitted, maybe hold them up for a bit, then put on lap 7, at the end of lap 7, put on the softer tyre. You can have maybe a slight tyre advantage for a few laps where you might be able to get ahead, and then when they're on the fresher mediums, for the last 3 laps, for one lap you're probably going to be pretty equal. You're just going to have to defend a bit. So I think there is going to be a possibility of a 1 stop. I do think the 2 stop is going to be the preferred strategy in terms of tyre wear and the ability to really drive aggressively. I will decide tonight. I think we're going to run both strategies tonight and try and see how we can get along. I will probably go with the 2-stop strategy so I can push a bit more aggressive and drive without worrying about tyres. I think it's a better way to go for myself. However, I think if you are good on tyres, then the 1-stop strategy could be very good here, especially if you can use the slipstream on the medium tyres at the start of the race to try and help your race, if you know what I mean. However, the medium tires will be a little bit slower off the standing start, so bear that in mind. Anyway, hope this video has helped you out. We're going to run the full strategy tests later on. We have done some already, but we really didn't go into depth with the 1 and the 2 stop, which I want to try out tonight. So if you want to watch them, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button, you won't miss any videos then, and also hit that like button if you have enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comment section how this video has helped you out. Thanks again for watching, everyone.